Arizona State defeats UCLA 38-23, and don't say we didn't call it 7 hours ago. For the Los Angeles Times, I'm Lindsay Theory, joined by beat reporter Chris Foster, national college football columnist Chris Dufresne. Chris, you said it. It was blatant, it was blunt that UCLA was going to let down in this game.
Well, I've been covering this team for 9 years, and I've seen this reel many times. I saw it with Stanford last year. I saw it with Cal in 2012. I saw it throughout the Rick Neuheisel area. The Bruins just can't seem to stand prosperity.
And Chris, I know you wrote about something very similar in your column.
Yeah, really an opportunity lost, because it was a day when UCLA could have made a big move, a big national statement with all these other teams in the top 10 losing. We talked about the moment in the pregame. We talked about coming through in the moment, and they just can't seem to learn from the success. They can't stand prosperity, I guess what it is. And by no means is the season over. One game and one defeat in this conference is not going to cost you, but it's another reminder, another lesson of that last week's game doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter where you are in the polls either.
It was clear UCLA's game plan was to hand the ball to Paul Perkins, as it has been all season. All season that's been successful for the Bruins, but Arizona State certainly had their number.
Well, Arizona State's strength is supposed to be their defensive line, and UCLA decided they were going to test that, and they found out that, yes, it is their strength. After the game, offensive coordinator Noel Mazzoni admitted he was probably too stubborn and kept running. And, once they loosened it up a little, Josh Rosen had a little success. I think if they'd done that a little earlier, things might have come out different.
So many starters out for the Bruins. You can't overlook that, right?
Well, no. Now they're dealing with the loss of Jayon Brown, who was the replacement for Miles Jack, who's out for the year. He didn't play tonight. Marcus Rios had an illness this week. He was in the hospital. He saw very little time. So now you're talking about 4 starters plus one of your key reserves on the defense. So it's a little wonder that Arizona State rolled up 450-some yards tonight. And the thing is, it's not getting easier for the Bruins. They got Stanford coming after a bye week, and they haven't beaten Stanford since 2008. So, UCLA is going to have to find some answers and find them pretty quick.
That was going to be my next question. UCLA now with the bye week before they play 2 Thursday night games. What's most important for the Bruins to focus on in this bye?
Well, I think they first of all, they have to scrape this one off. They have to go back to being who they were before this game and before the Arizona game. And that was a team that was pretty resilient. They had a good, solid running game behind an offensive line. They just can't deviate, but they have to learn. They have to learn that they aren't all that. They just can't walk into a stadium and win a football game. They're going to have to put in some time to get it done.
All right, so that's going to do it for us from the Rose Bowl. UCLA falls to 4-1. Arizona State improves to 3-2. The Bruins a bye this next week before they play 2 Thursday night games, as Jim Mora mentioned multiple times in the post-game press conference. With beat reporter Chris Foster and our national college football columnist Chris Dufresne, I'm Lindsay Theory from the Rose Bowl.